Let me tell you something, my friend. After you turn 60, the rules start to change whether anyone tells you or not. Foods that used to give you energy now leave you tired. You feel foggy in the mornings. Your knees ache when you stand. And your blood sugar, it climbs higher than you'd like. Now here's the twist. What if the very foods you've been avoiding for years were the exact ones your body needs most right now? Not some fancy diet, not pills. Just simple, real, wholesome foods with zero sugar, no carbs, but packed with the kind of nutrients that help you stay sharp, mobile, and independent. And listen closely, because food number 3 on this list. It's helped countless seniors lower their blood pressure and avoid medication quietly, without the spotlight. Let's dive in. You may just find something today that changes your tomorrow. Leafy greens, spinach, kale, Swiss chard. Let's start with something simple, leafy greens. I'm talking about spinach, kale, and Swiss chard. Not glamorous, not exotic, just powerful. 1 cup of raw spinach has barely a gram of carbs, almost no sugar at all. Yet it's loaded with the nutrients your body is crying out for. Vitamin A for your immune system. Vitamin C to heal your cells. Vitamin K to keep your bones standing tall, and here's the magic, those nutrients help slow aging on a cellular level. That means stronger muscles, sharper memory, and fewer bad days. Let me tell you about Margaret. She's 68. She came to see me last fall, feeling bloated, heavy, and tired. Her joints ached, and she couldn't focus like she used to. At first, she thought it was just aging. But I suggested one small change. Trade her ham sandwich for a spinach salad with olive oil and a boiled egg. That's it. No detox, no pills, no guilt. 2 weeks later, she returned smiling. Her belly felt lighter. Her thoughts were clearer. Even her knees didn't bark at her in the morning. And she told me something I'll never forget. "Doc, I didn't change my life. I just changed my plate." That's the point. We don't need to restrict ourselves, we need to replace what no longer serves us. My prescription: start your lunch or dinner with a cup of raw spinach. Or gently saute kale in olive oil for 5 minutes. That one habit alone can keep your blood sugar steady and your energy consistent all day long. And remember, it's not about being perfect, it's about being smarter. You ready for the next one? It's a crunchy veggie duo that helps your body detox sugar before it causes damage. Let's talk about it. Broccoli and cauliflower, the sugar detox twins. Alright, now we're getting into 2 of my favorite vegetables, not because they're trendy or exotic, but because they work. Broccoli and cauliflower, plain, simple, humble. They don't need fancy packaging or a marketing team behind them. But what they do inside your body, that's where the magic really happens. Let's break it down. These are non-starchy vegetables, which means they're naturally low in carbs. They contain 0 sugar. And they're loaded with fiber, the kind that slows down digestion, keeps you full, and protects your blood sugar from spiking like a roller coaster. You see, as we age, our insulin sensitivity begins to drop. That's a fancy way of saying your body doesn't handle sugar as well as it used to. Even healthy foods can push your blood glucose higher than you'd like. But when you eat something like broccoli or cauliflower, the fiber acts like a buffer. It slows down how fast sugar gets into your bloodstream. Think of it like putting the brakes on sugar release. Let me tell you about Harold, a retired carpenter, 72 years old. He used to dread mornings. His knees creaked, his fingers ached, and worst of all, he had no energy to even make breakfast. One day, his wife, Val, bless her, started roasting broccoli and cauliflower 3 nights a week. Just olive oil, sea salt, and a little garlic. That's it. After about a month, Harold came back for his checkup and said, "Doc, I don't know what's happening, but I'm getting out of bed faster. My knees don't hate me anymore. Even my blood pressure came down a little." I smiled and said, "That's not luck, Harold. That's broccoli." Doctor's tip: roast or steam 1 cup of broccoli or cauliflower each day. Drizzle with olive oil, lemon juice, or even a sprinkle of turmeric. Eat it warm, eat it cold, blend it into a soup, just eat it. You don't have to be perfect, just consistent. And here's the beautiful part, it doesn't feel like dieting. It feels like real food. Comforting, healing, nourishing. That's how eating should be, especially after 60. Now, I've got a question for you. Have you already added broccoli or cauliflower to your meals lately? If so, share your routine in the comments. Someone out there may need your tip more than you know. And if not, well, now is a great time to start. Coming up next, we're leaving the garden and heading to the sea. Because the next food on our list doesn't just help your joints, it sharpens your memory and protects your heart. Ready? Let's swim into the next one. Fatty fish, your brain's best friend. Alright, now we've had our greens, we've crunched our broccoli. It's time to leave the garden and sail out to sea. Because when it comes to keeping your brain sharp, your joints moving, and your heart ticking like clockwork, nothing beats fatty fish. I'm talking about salmon, mackerel, sardines. All the fish your grandparents used to eat, long before supplements, pills, or superfoods ever showed up. What makes these fish so special? First of all, zero carbs. Second, they're loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory compounds in nature. Inflammation, my friend, is the silent thief of aging. It stiffens your arteries, wears out your joints, and slowly dims your memory like a light bulb flickering out. But omega-3s, they calm that fire. They protect your heart, support your joints, sharpen your memory, and even boost your mood. Don't just take my word for it. Harvard researchers found that older adults with higher omega-3 levels had better brain function, lower risk of heart disease, and even fewer signs of cognitive decline. Let me tell you about Helen, 73 years old, smart as a whip, but she started noticing more senior moments. You know the kind, forgetting names, misplacing glasses, opening the fridge and thinking, why did I come here? Nothing major, but enough to worry her. So I gave her a simple suggestion, start eating salmon twice a week. Baked, not fried. A little lemon, a little dill. 2 months later, she was back laughing. Doc, she said, I don't know if it's the fish or just in my head, but I feel sharper. And I'm not snapping at my grandkids anymore. Coincidence? Maybe, but more likely. That's nutrition doing what it does best, helping your body remember how good it was designed to feel. Doctor's tip, eat fatty fish 2 to 3 times per week. Baked, grilled, or even canned, just make sure it's wild caught if possible. Don't overthink it. Squeeze some lemon, a drizzle of olive oil, and you're golden. Even a small fillet can deliver brain-boosting, heart-protecting benefits. You don't need a fancy recipe, you just need a fork and a good piece of fish. You see, aging isn't about slowing down. It's about fueling yourself differently. Give your body what it actually needs, and you'd be surprised how fast it remembers how to thrive. Now, breakfast is coming up, and there's one food that's been misunderstood for decades. People blamed it for cholesterol, skipped it for cereal, but for seniors, it might be the most perfect food in your fridge. Let's talk about eggs coming up next. Eggs, the perfect breakfast for seniors. Now, let's talk about eggs. I know. They've gotten a bad rap for years. People have avoided them, feared them, swapped them for cereal, toast, even dry granola bars, all in the name of health. But here's the honest truth. For older adults trying to stay sharp, manage blood sugar, and boost energy, eggs are one of the smartest foods you can eat, period. What's inside an egg? Less than 1 gram of carbohydrates. 0 sugar, packed with high-quality protein. Full of choline, a nutrient your brain literally uses to think and form memories. And lutein, which protects your eyes from age-related damage like macular degeneration. You're not just eating breakfast, you're giving your brain and vision. Let me tell you about Claire. She's 63, newly retired. She used to skip breakfast or just grab toast and coffee on the run. By 10 a.m. every day, she was shaky, her mind fogged up. She'd get anxious, even irritable, and assumed it was just low blood sugar. She told me, "Doc, I thought I was doing it right. Whole wheat toast, light breakfast, isn't that what they say?" So I asked her to try one small change to boiled eggs and half an avocado. That's it. Nothing fancy. And what happened? Her energy lasted till lunch. Her thinking was clearer. And most importantly, no more mood swings or sugar crashes. She even laughed and said, "Turns out, the toast was tricking me. It gave me a high, then dropped me like a bad habit." Doctor's tip: scrambled, poached, soft-boiled. However you like 'em, eggs are affordable, easy to digest, and deeply nourishing. Pair with healthy fats like avocado or leafy greens for a balanced, blood sugar-friendly meal. Don't fear the yolk, that's where the gold is, the vitamins, the brain fuel, the richness, and here's the best part. 2 eggs and half an avocado costs less than a muffin from the coffee shop, but it fuels you like a first-class breakfast. You don't need fancy supplements or powders. You need real food, whole food, food that knows how to take care of you. So, how do you like your eggs, or have you been avoiding them all these years? Drop a comment below. Your tip might help someone else watching. Because, believe me, what we eat in the morning sets the tone for the entire day. Now, we've talked meals, but what about snacks? Let's face it, that 3 p.m. slump is real, and the wrong snack can undo everything you've worked so hard to fix. But don't worry, the next food I'll share is small, crunchy, and could change the way your afternoons feel forever. We're talking nuts and seeds, and they're up next. Nuts and seeds, the smartest snack for seniors. Now let's talk about that sneaky little danger zone most folks don't prepare for, the afternoon crash. You know what I mean. It's around 3 p.m. You've had a decent breakfast, maybe even a healthy lunch. But then suddenly, boom, you're tired, you're foggy, you feel like someone pulled the plug on your brain. So, what do most people reach for? Cookies, crackers, granola bars. Seems harmless, right? But those snacks are loaded with hidden sugar and refined carbs. They spike your blood sugar and drop you like a stone an hour later. The better way: nuts and seeds. Low in carbs and sugar. High in protein, healthy fats, and magnesium keep your energy stable. Support nerve health, bone density, and reduce silent inflammation. Oh, and they're delicious. Tony, one of my longtime patients, he's 70 now, used to tell me, "Doc, every afternoon I grabbed oatmeal cookies. I need the sugar to keep going." And I'd say, "Tony, you don't need sugar, you need support. And your pancreas is waving a white flag." So I gave him a simple swap: 1 small handful of almonds and a serving of chia pudding. 2 weeks later, no more crashes, no more cravings. And his nighttime leg cramps, which plagued him for years, started fading away. He looked at me and said, "Doc, I didn't know I was magnesium deficient. I just thought I was getting old." Doctor's tip: keep a small bag of raw, unsalted almonds or walnuts in your car, desk drawer, or purse. Soak chia seeds overnight in almond milk. Add cinnamon or a few berries for a dessert that won't spike your sugar. Want variety? Try pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, or flax seeds too. Each has its own unique benefit. And here's the thing: nuts and seeds don't just fill your belly. They fuel your brain, protect your nerves, and balance your hormones naturally. That's what I call a powerful snack in a tiny package. So, if you're tired of feeling tired every afternoon, if you're done riding the blood sugar roller coaster, make the switch. You don't need a cookie, you need ammunition. And nature's already packed it for you, in a shell, in a seed, in a nut. And up next, we're going to talk about something creamy, rich, and completely misunderstood. For years, people avoided it thinking it was too fatty. But it just might be one of the smartest foods for your heart, your sugar, and your brain. Yes, friend, we're about to talk about avocados. Avocados, the creamy fat that heals. Yes, the avocado. Poor thing. For years, this beautiful fruit was misunderstood, judged unfairly because of its fat content. People were told to avoid it, too fatty, too rich. But here's what the science and experience tells us now. Avocados are one of the healthiest fats you can eat, especially as you age. And the best part? They contain almost no sugar and their net carbs are incredibly low. Why are avocados so special, rich in monounsaturated fats, the good kind that protect your heart? Loaded with fiber, which helps control blood sugar and keeps you full. Improve insulin sensitivity, which makes it easier for your body to handle sugar. Support brain function and reduce inflammation throughout the body. Let me tell you about Joanne. She's 66 and had spent her whole life avoiding avocados. "Doc," she told me, "I thought it was diet sabotage. I didn't want to get fat." But her nutritionist, and I explained how fat isn't the enemy, the wrong kind of fat is. So we asked her to try something simple, add half an avocado to her lunch every day, on a salad with an egg or even mashed up as a spread. That's all. A few weeks later, she felt fuller for longer, no need to snack all afternoon. Her next checkup showed her LDL bad cholesterol had dropped and her HDL the good one had gone up. No pills. No crash diets. Just one creamy green half each day. She looked at me with a smile and said, "Doc, it was delicious and healing. I should have listened sooner." Doctor's tip? Add avocado slices to eggs, salads, or grilled veggies. Mash it with garlic, lime, and a pinch of salt for a heart-healthy spread. Don't fear the fat. Embrace the right fat. If budget's tight, even frozen avocado chunks work great in smoothies or spreads. Avocados don't just fill your plate, they fill the gap left behind by years of fear-based nutrition myths. You're not feeding your waistline, you're feeding your brain, your heart, your future. And if you've been avoiding healthy fats because of old habits or outdated advice, maybe it's time to take another look. Your next chapter deserves better fuel. What about you? Have you welcomed avocados into your kitchen yet? Or are they still sitting in the bad food corner of your mind? Let us know in the comments. Your experience might unlock someone else's health journey. Now, I've got something really special coming next. It's not something you chew. It's something you drizzle. A liquid gold that quietly heals from the inside out. Let's talk about olive oil next. Olive oil, liquid gold for your heart and brain. Now, let me tell you something most people overlook. It's not a pill. It's not a superfood. You don't even chew it. But it might be one of the most powerful healing agents you can keep in your kitchen. I'm talking about olive oil, not margarine, not seed oils. Just pure, extra virgin olive oil, nature's liquid gold. What makes olive oil so special? Zero sugar, zero carbs, rich in monounsaturated fats that protect your heart and brain. Contains powerful antioxidants like oleocanthal, which acts like a natural anti-inflammatory, kind of like ibuprofen, but made by nature. Helps reduce the risk of stroke, heart disease, and age-related memory decline. I've seen it again and again. Seniors who make olive oil a daily habit often feel lighter, less bloated, and that's not hype, that's evidence. One study published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology found that older adults who consumed olive oil regularly had a lower risk of stroke and cognitive decline. In Mediterranean countries, it's not a supplement, it's a way of life. You'll find seniors in their 80s and 90s who are still gardening, walking to the market, laughing with their grandkids, and they'll tell you, olive oil is our medicine. Let me tell you about Eleanor. She's 71. Used to cook everything in margarine because she'd been told for years that it was healthier. But her knees were stiff, her energy low, and her blood pressure inching higher. So I suggested a change. Ditch the margarine. Use olive oil. On veggies. In salads. Even in her eggs. A few weeks later, she said she felt lighter. Her ankles looked less swollen. And her blood pressure dropped by several points without a single pill. Doctor's tip. Use extra virgin olive oil daily. Start with just 1 to 2 tablespoons. Drizzle it on steamed broccoli, sautéed greens, salads, or even soups. Don't heat it to high temperatures. Use it gently or cold for max benefits. Avoid cheap blends. Get the real stuff, cold pressed, dark glass bottle. Olive oil doesn't just flavor your food. It softens inflammation, lubricates your joints, and protects your arteries. It's not trendy. It's timeless. And in my experience, it's one of the simplest, most affordable, and most powerful changes an older adult can make. So tell me, have you made the switch? Are you still spreading margarine on your toast? Or have you embraced the golden drizzle that's been nourishing humans for centuries? If you've got a favorite way to use olive oil, share it in the comments. You never know who you might inspire. Now, we've come to the final food on our list. It's controversial. Some say it's unhealthy, others say it's a hidden gem. But for seniors, it might just be the smartest thing you can snack on. Yes, I'm talking about cheese, and it's coming up next. Cheese, the surprising superstar for seniors. Now, I know what you're thinking. Cheese? Really, Doc? Yes, really. Let's set the record straight. For years, cheese was blamed for everything. Weight gain, high blood pressure, cholesterol. But the truth is, for older adults cutting back on sugar and carbs, cheese might be one of the smartest snacks you can keep in your fridge. Why cheese works for seniors? Most cheeses contain virtually no sugar and very low carbs, packed with high-quality protein, calcium, and healthy fats. Supports bone strength, muscle maintenance, and helps you feel full and satisfied. Doesn't spike your blood sugar. Instead, it slows digestion and curbs cravings. Let me introduce you to Helen. She's 74, sprightly but had a little problem, her snacks. She'd reach for crackers, cookies, whatever was easy. And slowly, her blood sugar crept up. Her weight started to nudge the scale a little higher every month. I didn't tell her to go on a diet. I just said, Helen, try this instead. A few slices of aged cheddar and some cucumber. That's it. She raised an eyebrow, but she tried it. And guess what? Her cravings disappeared. She no longer felt deprived, her weight stabilized, and her doctor even noticed her blood sugar numbers plateauing instead of rising. She told me, Doc, it's the first snack that doesn't make me feel guilty or hungry again an hour later. Doctor's tip, choose aged, hard cheeses like Parmesan, Swiss, or sharp cheddar. Pair with sliced veggies, olives, or a few raw nuts for a satisfying low-carb snack. If you're lactose sensitive, don't worry, aged cheeses are naturally lower in lactose and often easier to digest. Stick to 1 to 2 ounces, that's all it takes. Cheese doesn't have to be the enemy. In fact, when chosen wisely, it can be your ally, fighting cravings, nourishing your bones, and helping you feel full without sugar or processed carbs. So now we've reached the end of the list. But in truth, it's only the beginning of something better. These 8 foods may be low in sugar and carbs, but they are rich in the things your aging body truly craves: nourishment, stability, energy, and a second wind. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start. 1 plate, 1 snack, 1 smart swap at a time. Closing message. Before you go, let me tell you something important. Even if you eat every one of these foods, there's one big mistake that could still be undoing all your efforts. We're going to talk about that in the next video, and trust me, it's something nobody's telling seniors about. But it could change everything. Until then, stay curious, stay kind to your body, and keep feeding the future you want to live in. I'm proud of you. I really am.